guys, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about high school. For those of you who don't know, I just graduated high school this year. Since I just graduated, I thought it was the perfect time to kind of make like a high school advice video. I texted all of my closest friends and my sister who's in college, and I asked them what they would say to someone who asked for high school advice, and I got some pretty good responses. I also thought of a few things on my own, just some things that I've learned over the past few years that I've been in high school. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I hope that somebody can benefit from this video. Okay, the first thing that I have written down is try not to care so much about what people think about you. And this is kind of a heavy one. I think we all inherently care a little bit to some extent about what people think about us, which can be really hard, especially in high school because you're expected to be a certain way a lot of the time. It's so hard to answer questions like this because I even struggled with this when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I literally was in high school like a month ago. It's not worth it to care so much about how somebody else sees you. It's more important to care about the way that you view yourself. Adding somebody else's opinion in the mix just kind of makes everything messy. People who are good for your life and beneficial for you are going to see the best in you and not going to care about the negatives or the imperfections or the flaws or whatever. You do you, boo. That's what I gotta say. Honestly, that's my best piece of advice. Be yourself and don't care about what anybody else has to say about it, because at the end of the day, it's not really going to matter that much. Don't waste your high school experience on toxic friendships / relationships. I wasted so much of my high school career being friends with people who were mean to me and who talked about me behind my back and who weren't good for me, like, at all. And let me just tell you, it is so not worth it. Let me see if I can make this lighting better. Hey! If you have friends or a friend or whatever who isn't beneficial to your life, if you're not getting anything out of that relationship or friendship or whatever, remove yourself from it. I know it can be hard because they're gonna make you think that they're your friend and that they're a good friend. They're probably not going to be your friend long term, and if you have a bad feeling that they're talking bad about you or gossiping about you or just not really being positive, being a positive friend in your life, literally, it's just so not worth it. Don't let somebody ruin your experience in high school. The years that you're in high school, you're so young and you're growing and maturing and learning things about yourself, and it's just not worth it to have somebody in your life who's putting a damper on that and being negative. And, you know, if you're not really getting anything out of it, there's not a point in being friends with them anyways. As for relationships, if it's a toxic relationship and you know that you're not going to marry this person, I mean, personally, while I was in high school, whenever I was thinking about dating, I wasn't thinking about dating to break up. I mean, when you're in a relationship, you're either going to break up or get married. Those are literally the only two things that can happen. I was always someone who dated because of the long term. I didn't want to date anybody who I didn't think I could see a future with. And if you don't see a future with somebody and you know that they're making you unhappy, it's just a waste of your time and you're kind of just setting yourself up for disaster. So get out of that relationship, sis. Number 3, stay out of drama. I'm not gonna act like I'm super high and mighty and that I haven't, you know, gossiped in my life. Girls do it. It's a thing. There's a point where you kind of have to grow out of that and just learn that it's not worth it to talk bad about somebody, especially if they've never done anything to you. Girls are going to start drama regardless. Even if they don't know who you are, they're gonna start drama. It's a thing in high school, probably even outside of high school. Drama is just, you don't want to get involved in it. Most importantly, I think what you should know is don't talk badly about your friends or somebody, even just somebody who's nice to you. Don't talk bad about them. I think there's a lot of times when you'll be friends with somebody who doesn't like so-and-so, but you like so-and-so and you're friends with them, and this person is going to talk bad about them, and you kind of have to choose whether or not you're going to get involved in that. Don't. And honestly, if you have a friend that you know is gossiping about you or spreading rumors about you or saying bad things about you, period, they are not your friend. They are not a good friend to you. Number 4, Number 4 is to get involved and go to all of the events. If I have one regret from high school, it's probably just not going to enough things. And I understand if you're just like not a social person and you don't really want to go out, but at least sometimes occasionally get out of your comfort zone and go to football games or basketball games or whatever it may be that is an event at your school. Go to it. I promise you it'll be worth it, and even if you have a terrible time, at least you can say that you did it. You know, going to events and getting involved in your school and stuff is a great way to meet new people and make new friends and, you know, just show your school spirit. You only have a small portion of your life to do things that you do in high school, you know? Like, after high school, there's not as many opportunities to do stuff like that. So I think it's really important to take advantage of the time that you have as a kid to go to all of the stuff, do all the things, you know? There would be times when I was like, I am not going out, I just want alone time, and that's perfectly fine. Don't let anybody tell you it's not okay to have alone time every once in a while. But I think there should definitely be like a healthy mix of going out and doing things with your friends and staying home at the same time. This one. Number 5, popularity is not important. Oh, say it louder for the people in the back. It's not important. Everybody, especially young girls, think about popularity so much in high school, and it's just not worth it, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get out of high school and your status that you had in those 4 years is going to literally not matter at all anymore. At all. Nobody's gonna care who knew you or how many people knew you in high school. It's not important. It affects your personality. It kind of shows who you are if that's all you really care about. Okay, number 6. Your life definitely shouldn't revolve around your significant other. There's not much to say on this because it's kind of self-explanatory. Everybody should know this, but you need to have a healthy mix of your family, you know, your social life with your friends, whatever else you want, your hobbies, all of that. You need time for that. If you want to have a significant other alongside you to experience those things with, then that's great and you totally can do that, but you just don't want to make that your whole life, especially in high school, because you're being so easily influenced in that part of your life and growing as a person, and you need to make sure you are growing as an individual and learning how to be your own person and all that. But I also don't think you should let anybody tell you that there's any wrong with having a serious relationship in high school. It's totally fine if that's what you want to do. Number 7, don't feel rushed when you're deciding about college and big life decisions like that. Especially, you know, your junior and senior year of high school, there's a lot of pressure to make your mind and decide what you want to do for the rest of your life and all of that. And let me just tell you, I just graduated. I still have no idea what I'm going to do in college. I honestly didn't decide what college I wanted to go to until my first semester of senior year. So you don't have to decide as fast as people are going to make it seem like you have to, I guess. What you're going to do after high school is a huge chunk of your life. It's a really important decision. It's a big life decision, and you don't make a decision because somebody else is pressuring you to, or make the wrong decision because you didn't think about it long enough. Okay, the next one is your grades don't define you. Obviously, some people don't really care about their grades. Some people really care about their grades and want to have a 4.0 and have all A's. If you are one of those people who really cares about your grades and wants to have straight A's and all of that, that's great, and it's really awesome to feel, you know, to be motivated in that way and to want to push yourself to be better. But at the same time, don't have too high expectations, I guess. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to fail sometimes. It's okay to get a bad grade. It's not going to be the end of the world, and it doesn't make you a bad person if you don't have a 4.0. I think I ended high school with like a 3.8, and I'm fine. I have scholarships. I got into the college I wanted to get into. I'm fine. At the end of the day, having a 4.0, having perfect grades, never getting a bad grade is really unrealistic, and that's totally okay. Okay, so the last thing that I want to say is pretty important because it did affect me a lot during my high school experience. Don't let peer pressure get the best of you. There's a lot of things you're going to be introduced to in high school. You know, parties and drinking and all of that. You're gonna be introduced to it, and you have to make a choice whether or not that's something you want to get involved in. And if it's not who you are, if it's not the person you want to be, some people are into that, some people aren't. And if you're one of those people that aren't, you don't want to let somebody else pressure you into doing that. Especially if it's a friend or a significant other. If they're knowingly trying to make you do something you're uncomfortable with, they're not good for your life. Just don't do anything that is not true to yourself. I think the best thing to do is just make a choice as soon as you get into high school about what you want to do, what you're comfortable with, what your limits or what your boundaries are, all of that. You have to make that decision and stick to it. Most likely it's probably gonna be more beneficial for you. If you decide you don't want to go to the parties and all that, honestly they're very stupid. If you decide you don't want to be part of that, you don't have to be, and don't let anybody tell you that you have to be cool or to fit in or to be popular, whatever. You don't have to go to parties. You don't have to hang out with the wrong crowd if you don't want to. Number one thing, stay true to yourself. Okay, that's all the tea. That's all of the tips and advice that I have for you guys today. I hope that somebody got something out of it, especially if there's any young girls watching this. Okay. That is all that I have for today. I hope everybody liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below, and turn on my post notifications if you want to see every time I post. Okay, anyways, I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye!